I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. How's everybody doing out there? Um, Trying different formats, trying different things out here. You know what I mean? So bear with me. You know what I mean? It's always going to get greater later. I don't know why I'm not just doing this on a laptop, to be honest with you. But that's neither here nor there. You know, if a company offers me multiple ways of streaming, making videos, and recording and getting a podcast out there, I'm gonna experiment with each avenue, basically. If I could use the app on my phone on the go and record a podcast, God damn it, that's what I'm gonna do. This time I got my little earbud in because the first two times I recorded this, no earbud at all. You know what I mean? So just trying to see if I can get the sound better, if I get the video quality better. Maybe if I'm sitting still more, it'll stop making me look like a ghost or something. Ooh, I'm not showing my background or anything. It's like a green screen without the green screen. It's nice. It's nice. I like it. It works. It works if you work it. Yeah. Let me just sit here for a moment and reflect. This one is about thinking the creator. To be honest with you, there was a lot of times where I had thoughts of, you know, negativity, thoughts of negativity because at times in my life, all I seen was a bunch of negative things. You know, all I was being influenced by was negativity because negativity kept getting presented to me in my life. You know, for some reason, good people just have the most worst experiences in life, man. You know, I know you got guys out there talking about nice guys always finish last, and fuck the good guys. They the ones who women cheat on them, and they the ones that always get cheated, and they always the ones that wind up in stupid predicaments or in bad positions because they a nice person. And that may be true to some extent, but you can't let any circumstance or situation change who you are, change your character inside. You know, if you have a heart of gold, then you have to continue to have that heart of gold. You might not expose it to everybody, you know what I mean, anymore because of things that you've been through, dealings with people, and you know what I mean. That's understandable. Um, I can't help being a good person. I can't help being a person that loves truth and that loves justice. You know what I mean? All of us deserve truth and justice, even if it's from an untruthful person. Even if it's the most lionest person in the world, he want the truth. He want the truth to be told to him, right? That you could run across a guy selling drugs. He don't want you to steal his fucking drug money if he gave you a pack, right? He wants you to bring it all back. He wants you to be honest about this and about that, even if he lying to you and stabbing you in the back and having you do shit that they not willing to do. All of us run off of a certain merit system, you know, morals and values. Morals and values on sale, by the way, on Amazon Kindle. All of us want loyalty. All of us want respect. All of us want a certain faith. You know what I mean? But we're not afforded that ourselves. A lot of these things that we want aren't afforded to us by the people that want it the most. You know what I mean? Somebody that wants the truth, they lie between their teeth so fucking much for a system and a government to want everybody to abide by their laws and statutes that they set forth. Also break the same laws and statutes that they put in place to govern you as a person. They break them. They break the oaths and everything. They'll sit up there and know what's going on in your life, and they'll know that people aren't doing you right. They'll know themselves because they're doing it themselves, and they still won't try to set you straight, or I mean, not set you straight, because can't nobody set you straight. What I mean is, give you your just due. You know what I mean? Give you your whatever you deserve. If you're a good person, you deserve good things. If you're an evil person, then you deserve evil things. If you doing evil and you just won't stop doing evil shit, then yeah, bad should come your way. But a good man should not be going through evil things. A good man shouldn't be put in bad situations. You know, a good man even have a breaking point. There's certain things that you stand on. There's certain things that you won't allow to happen to friends, family, in your community. It's things that you stand on. If you look on my social media, all you see is me standing for what's right. I tell people what's going on in their community, so this way they won't fall victim to this shit. But yet and still, the same people that I stood up for, that I was whistleblowing for, never stood up for me. They never stood up for me. They never showed the compassion and love that I was out here trying to show for them on social media, in my everyday life, in personal dealings with people. They never extended me the same courtesy. You know what I mean? And that's some sad shit, man. That's this dichotomy that we live in. That's under the veil of society. You know, it's basically a dichotomy under the veil of society. It's heinous what they do to people out here. You know what I mean? It's heinous. That's what all of this is about. Me trying to work on this podcast, me getting this podcast more exposure, me putting out books and things like that, me doing my music and things like that. It's all about getting to a better place, not just for me, but for my family's sake. You know, the family that I still have left, the only ones that I can still call family. You know what I mean? I don't want to get all into it on my video podcast and all that stuff because sometimes I get very emotional. I do. I tend to get emotional at times. But you know, if you go and you listen to the audio podcast that's on Spotify, that's now on iHeartRadio, that's now on Apple, that's now on YouTube. If you go listen to the audio files, man, I lined it all right there. I put it all right there on the line for everybody. So that way I can let everybody know what's going on. Because one thing about it, you know, I've witnessed people in my life go through things like this in silence. You know, I witnessed people in my life, you know, my parent, my mother, you know what I mean, go through this in her life uh, in silence, basically. I witnessed my grandmother go through things in silence and suffer in silence. Um, my father, he wasn't there enough for me to really see what he dealt with, but I've heard accounts of things that he had to go through. And, you know, we all made to suffer until you decide to change, until you decide to change your situation. And some of us think that we could change our situation just by going out and getting a job and working hard at that job and getting the attaboy. But what about the times when my dad did construction work for people and he was partnering in construction work with people so that they could get houses together, and then they wound up fucking him over and not giving him any houses? What about the times when my mom tried to work towards something on her own, but to no avail, she still wound up having to work for minimum wage and things like that? What about when I'm trying to live my life and trying to make my YouTube content and make music and books and things like that, and I still have people going against me like I'm doing a bad thing out here? You know what I mean? When I decided to do all this, I still had a regular job, not a regular job. I had a career, except the bus driver. You know what I mean? I had people in Philadelphia, powerful people in Philadelphia, destroy my career, destroy my livelihood, affecting my life and my children's life. I had people in Philadelphia cohort, conspire, and exploit me. You know what I mean? All of that's out there. All of this information is sprinkled throughout Facebook, Instagram, and all of these different social media platforms I use. You know what I mean? Because the truth needs to be out there. You know, Was these people tied to the mafia? Yes. I went to the feds about it. They don't help. You know why? Because one hand washed the other. You know, maybe the feds ain't in bed with the mafia, but the CIA is, and then you got the Masonic Order, which the mafia is the head of, and they do all of this stuff under the guise of those organizations, and they control many organizations. They control and manipulate you in a lot of ways that you don't even realize. One second. Hello? Well, whatever that's about, right? My thing is, man, you know, if you out here and you buy into these organizations and things like that and think that you're a part of them, you're really not. You know, it's all about the bloodline for them. If you think that you paid your union dues and you paying your tithes and offerings and things like that, you might reap some benefit. You might get some perks for that, but you're never really truly one of them. All you're doing is helping perpetuate a system that's holding your own people back. You know, it's people that know what I go through, that know what I'm going through, and they still won't help me at all, man. You know, basically, all my property's been stolen from me. You know, you can see it as trinkets and things like this. I had to uproot myself from one place to another to live and things of that nature. And it's like, for what? Things that I'm not in control of because I found out, well, I didn't find out anything. You presented it to me. If you present information to me or if you present me with a situation, it's my obligation to figure it out. It's my obligation to figure out exactly what's going on. I figured it out. And now I'm still being chastised and ostracized and punished because I had the brain to figure it out. How long should a person be made to suffer? You know, how long should a person sit up here and be unjustly judged by people that don't want to be judged themselves? The Agent Smiths of the world. These people, these organizations, and these people that's tied to these organizations, man. It's like that movie, The Matrix. Remember the first one? When somebody could just be walking down the street and see Neo, and they're not a part of the situation at all that Neo's going through. He's on a run. He's trying to fight the system. And out of nowhere, they just transform into Agent Smith. Remember that? How they just changed the whole face and changing to Agent Smith? That's how people are in regular day life, in real life, in real time. People, minds could just, and next thing you know, they doing something against you or towards you that's that falls in line with the system. You know what I mean? Even with me, I'm trying to sit up here and do my music, do my books, and I'm trying to get all my royalties and get all my publishing and everything in line. And I'm still going through what I'm going through. I'm still under the rigmarole of somebody asking me, oh, when you going to get a job? When you going to do this? Listen, I got a job. I'm working for myself. I'm working on my entrepreneurship. Checks is on the way for me. You know what I mean? Checks is on the way. Checks is being deposited. Checks is being downloaded and things like that. You just got to wait. Everything takes time. But it's the thing about the message being passed. Once somebody come at you with that type of energy, now you get in your mind, damn, I do need this, or I got to do this, or how about this? But it just takes time. It just takes patience. It takes time and patience to build anything. I don't want to work for anybody when I understand the game that's being played on. So now it's time to work for myself. I wish I would have known this a lot sooner in life. Shout out to my mother for not telling me about this shit, because I'm pretty sure my mother knew about all this shit. I know my grandfather knew about this shit because he put a false order of protection on me. and got me uprooted out of that crib after my grandmother transcended to the next level of life. Somebody, a man that raised me, seen what I was going through, and actually got me uprooted out the house that I grew up in. One of the houses that I grew up in, man, is that fucking deep. Is that dead serious that they could really change your parents, your friends, your community? Like, how could I really trust anybody in Philadelphia if my own family was able to do some shit like that and turn their back on me and let me just blow in the wind? Friends and family that I haven't spoken to in a long fucking time since all this shit conspired. People that I trusted, community people that I trusted, people that I just knew was going to have my back, didn't, and actually tried to set me up and hurt me even more, put me in deeper shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not right, man. If this, if these things has been going on in my life, and I've only been going through this for a couple years now, man, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you out there that have been going through the same shit, but you gave up. You stopped trying. You just said, fuck it, I'm gonna fall in line. You got to do more than just fall in line, man. You got to stand on your business. You got to really stand on your business, stand on your morals and values. And if a place won't do you right, and if you can't find solace or solitude where you at, then you got to find a place where you can find solace and solitude, man. You got to get there, and you got to get there by any means necessary, man. Me personally, I want to be out of Philly. I want my family, my kids to be out of Philly, because just like they did this to my mother, my grandmother, one of my uncles I know about, you know what I mean? I don't even want to speak on certain things because it seemed far-fetched. But for me, it's not. For me, it's not far-fetched because I see what they did in my life. I see what they did in my mother's life. I see what they did in my grandmother's life. So for me to know that these people got so much power and so much influence and so much control over people, places, and things and organizations and all this type of shit, they can make people disappear. And when I mean by disappear, they could, have something happen, have you sent up in the hospital and had the hospital people just let you check the fuck out. You know what I mean? They could put situations in your life to make you want to kill yourself or kill other people, hurting you or hurting yourself. That's how they do it now. Nobody's sending a hitman after you now. They could just introduce a dumbass argument with you and make it look like an accident that somebody during a fight or whatever just shot you and killed you or whatever. They can make shit look like accidents. They don't do the dirty work nowadays. They let our own people do the dirty work to us for them. And our dumbass the one sit up there going to jail, getting in trouble and all this other shit for it, man. For real, man, live your life, man. Live your life and stop doing evilness to one another because that's what they strive on. That's what they thrive on, man. That's what they strive on. That's what they thrive on. You know what I mean? And this is just a message from Mr. Pagan on God Concept Podcast to y'all on YouTube. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to get my videos and my podcast uploaded, in other places as well. But, man, this is what it is. This first day I had the video joint running, the first day I got 3 little videos up there, man. Pat myself on the fucking back for that. You know what I mean? It took me a while to figure out how to get them RSS feeds and everything up and running so I could put my podcast on iHeartRadio, on YouTube, on Apple, on Google, on YouTube, wherever I can get the podcast at, that's where I got it at, man. Because these messages got to get out there. I know there's more people out there dealing with things like that. You just got to remember, at times, you're going to be tried. At times, you're going to be tried. You're going to be thinking outside of your character. You're going to be thinking outside of your box. You're going to be thinking like, damn, I should go and shoot up this, or I should go blow this up and do this, da-da-da-da-da. But that's what they want you to do. That's self-destruction. That's what they want you to do. They want you to self-destruct. They want to play you out your position. They want to destroy who you are. So you look like the one that you look crazy. You look insane at the end of the day. And they look like they just doing their job. Y'all gotta be careful, man. Real, be careful out here. 'Cause this shit is real. I keep trying to explain this to my kids, but you know how kids are. I mean, children. I hate calling my children kids, but you know how children are, man. They don't understand what's going on. A lot of adults don't understand what's going on. And I believe that this is made that way. It's made by design where a person just can't understand what you're going through. It's like in one ear, out the other. They just can't comprehend what you're trying to say. It's because somebody or something or some entity or some forces that be don't want them to understand. So they can actually make a person not understand what you're talking about. They can make a person put you through more shit than what you meant to be dealing with in life. You know what I mean? And that's what we got to deal with. But that's this episode of God Concept. I've been your host, Mr. Pagan, and I'm be back at you in a moment. Peace.